Our production tonight is called Under a Full Moon in November. It's a farce about the blackout on the East Coast back in 1965 and some indiscretions during that blackout and the complications 44 years later. This play presented some challenges for the cast, not so much the cast as the crew. The lighting and set changes are a little difficult. And so we decided that we would make scene changes with the curtain open so that you could see what goes on when the curtain is closed and see how the stage crew and the technical crew actually support the actors to put on a good, smooth running show. Fingers crossed. We hope you'll consider seeing the scene changes as part of the show and enjoy that as much as the actual show. Now, let's have a show. Thank you.
Ah, nuts. One, two, three, four. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2,
How you coming along
3,
with that column,
4.
Barbara?
5, 2, 3, 4.
Barbara,
6,
Ellen, what
2,
are you
3,
doing?
4. Super Brain Yoga. It was developed by an ancient Chinese yoga master to help boost brain power. It's supposed to help me write better. Savyara Hollander swears by it.
Who cares what she did to improve her brain? It was her body that made her famous.
Don't start with me, Charlie. Pour the water.
So I take it you're having a small case of writer's block?
Huh, that's an understatement. Thanks. It's just so damn frustrating. The words come so easily when I'm standing naked in the shower. But when I come out here to type, I freeze up like a virgin at the senior prom.
Perhaps I should get the garden hose.
Don't be silly, Charlie. What would the new neighbors think if on their first day at Heritage Village, they saw me standing out on the deck naked, taking a shower?
Yeah, maybe we better wait till next week.
But what do I do about my article? It's due on Monday, and I don't have a clue what to write.
Well, I told you when you came up with this idea for this column that it wasn't going to be easy.
Yes, I know.
And I told you that writing a weekly column for the Heritage Villager was going to be a Herculean task, even for someone 30 years younger than you.
Yes, I know.
And I also told you that if you're going to write this column, it should not only be something that you're an expert in, but something that would appeal to the majority of the villagers.
Yes, I know.
Okay, then. Why the heck did you decide to write a column called Sex in the Village? Really, Barbara? You're a grandmother with 20 grandchildren. What makes you an expert on sex?
20 grandchildren.
Fine. But even if you think that the village is ready for a sex advice column, what do you expect your readers to do once they read it?
Well, I expect them to have sex. People our age shouldn't stay locked up in their condos, feeling guilty that they're still alive. They need to get out there and get their blood circulating. They need that certain intimacy of another person close beside them.
I don't think many of the villagers share your liberal ideas on sex, Barbara. After all, we aren't living in the 60s anymore.
Oh, pooh, Charlie. Some of us didn't live in the 60s when we were living in the 60s. Sex was just as taboo then as it is now, and it really shouldn't be. Why, sex is the single most essential tool that a person needs to maintain a healthy body, mind, and soul.
I'll remember that the next time I go to Home Depot.
Good morning, Barbara. Good morning, Charlie. How are my two favorite neighbors?
Oh, heck, Rita, we're your only neighbors.
Not for long. A moving truck just backed into the parking area. I hope you had a chance to move your car out of the garage.
Thanks, Tom, for reminding me.
Damn it, Charlie. I told you 1,000 times yesterday, be sure to have your car out of the garage by 8 o'clock in the morning. 1,000 times.
Yes, I know. 1,000 times. 1,000 times.
I swear, sometimes I just want to drown that old goat in the Long Island Sound.
So, what are you writing about this week, Barbara?
Well, I haven't decided yet. It's either a book review of The Happy Hooker or a recap of last week's meeting of the Heritage Village Swingers Club.
A swingers club here in the village?
Strange. Never seen a listing for it in the village directory.
Well, that's because we need at least 20 people to sign our charter petition before the village board will recognize us.
How many people are in your club?
Oh, over 100.
100?
Then why won't the board recognize you?
Because nobody in the club, including half the village board, has the guts enough to sign the petition. Say, how would you two like to be the first to sign? After Charlie and me, that is.
I don't think so, Barbara. I mean, Tom and I were married right out of college. And after 44 years, I just don't think we could ever be comfortable having sex with anyone else. Isn't that right, Tom? I said, isn't that right, Tom?
Yeah, that's right. After all, Barbara, we may be card-carrying liberals, but we're not that liberal. After all that promiscuity can only lead to disaster.
That's right. Did you ever cheat on any of your husbands, Barbara?
Well, not as much as they cheated on me.
What about Charlie?
Well, first of all, Charlie and I aren't married. And even if we were, we both agreed we could see other people. Oh, excuse me. I feel my cell phone vibrating. Hello? Oh, hello, Martin. Yeah, the column. It's coming along. Tomorrow? 2 o'clock? Oh, yeah, if you say so. Yeah, bye. Ah, nuts.
What's the matter?
That was Martin, my editor. He's going to be out of town on Monday, so he's going to print this week's edition tomorrow night. And that means he has to have my article by 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Oh, excuse me, I think I'm going to be sick.
I think you two will just love this unit. Oh, good morning, Mom, Dad. How was your walk today?
Not so good. I only had 5 men honk at me today wearing this outfit.
And I think the last guy was honking at me.
I'm sure he was, Dad. Mom, Dad, I'd like you to meet Dawn and Diana Nicholson. Dawn, Diana, these are my parents, Tom and Rita Carpenter. They live right next door to the unit I want you to see.
It certainly is nice to meet you both.
Are you two sisters?
No, Dad, Dawn and Diana are married.
Oh.
Excuse us, Mom. We're in a bit of a rush. I didn't realize someone new was moving in today.
Oh, we understand. You two are going to love Monica's old place. It's a cutest little condo with a view of the golf course to die for. Monica and I used to walk it every day. It was one of the saddest days in my life when she left us.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did she pass away?
Oh, no. She met a hedge fund CEO a few years ago. She's living with him now just outside of Seattle in his treehouse.
Let's take a look inside. I know you'll just love all the upgrades. Gee, thanks a lot, Dad. You're about as helpful as a toothache.
I can't believe you sometimes, Tom. You know Selena's had about as much trouble selling Monica's old place as she's had finding a husband. Here she is with 2 potential buyers, and you say something so stupid.
At least I didn't say anything about the noise
What noise?
from the golf course. Every morning before sunrise, they're out there mowing the grass.
That's right. And in the winter, even when the course is closed, they plow the whole parking lot every time it snows.
And don't forget the time last year when they repainted the parking lot lines at 2 in the morning. I almost went out there with a baseball bat, remember?
You should have. Then you should have gone over to the club president's driveway, painted a few lines. See how she likes being woken up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, but do you know what's really gonna irritate them?
No, what?
Charlie! Where in the hell are my Tums? Never mind, I found them.
Let's get out of here before Barbara makes us sign that damn petition.
In Scarlet Town, where I was born, there was a fair maiden dwelling. Every youth cried well away, for her name was Barbara Allen.
Oh, stop it, stop it, stop it. You know that song makes me crazy.
Yeah, but,
This way, Jason.
Okay, Mom.
Quiet, Charlie. It's the new neighbors. Behave yourself.
Oh, and be careful of my china set, Jason. It's been in our family since the Revolutionary War.
Okay, Mom. Be careful of my mom's china set, Fred. It's been in our family since the Revolutionary War.
Ah, Captain. Oh, tell me you didn't just drop his mom's china set?
Relax. By the time they open this box, we'll be halfway back to Chicago.
We sure as hell better be.
Welcome to Heritage Village. I'm Barbara Allen.
I'm Kiki Daniels, and this is my son, Jason. He's helping us move in.
Hello. And you are?
I'm Charlie Miller. I'm the old goat that had to move his car out of the garage a few minutes ago. I hope I didn't throw a wrench into your day.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Miller. I think we're the ones throwing the wrenches today. If you'll excuse me, though, my friends and I have a long day ahead of us. Fred, Milton, look sharp. The sooner we unload this cargo, the sooner you can get back to your home port.
All right, Captain. Come on. Anchors away.
Where did they get those 2 movers? AARP?
Oh, no, they're 2 of Jason's old war buddies.
Which World War did your son fight in? The first or the second?
Actually, he fought in both Persian Gulf Wars. He was a helicopter pilot in the first, and then he commanded his own wing of helicopters in the second. He's a test pilot now at Sikorsky Aircraft down in Stratford. Michael, I'd like you to meet 2 of our neighbors, Barbara Allen and Charlie Miller.
Which one is Barbara and which one is Charlie?
I'm Charlie.
I'm Mike Daniels, Kiki's extraordinarily lucky to be insignificant other.
Michael, behave yourself.
And you must be Barbara.
Yes.
Hello, Barbara.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna like Mike.
Oh, just about everybody does.
Well, after y'all get settled in, why don't you join us out here in the courtyard? Nothing fancy, just some burgers and beers. I'll invite the Carpenters from across the way. They might be slightly more liberal than you're accustomed to, but I think you're gonna like them.
What do you think, Michael?
Well, as long as they don't party protest the Vietnam War, I can be sociable with anyone. Oh, Jason, you and your friends want to hang around for burgers and beer later?
Oh, great, I'm game. How about you guys?
Don't think so, Kevin. We gotta be back in Chicago tomorrow night.
Your granddaughter's expecting again.
Oh, is it a boy or a girl?
Oh, boy.
It's a girl. It's a
I
boy.
know. It's a boy and a girl.
You know, twins.
Twins? Thanks a lot. She's not even married.
At least I didn't say it was octuplets.
What time tonight, Mrs. Allen?
6 o'clock. But I stopped being called Mrs. Allen after I divorced my last husband. Just call me Barbara, and that's an order.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
You two sure have a nice looking boy there.
Well, you can thank Kiki for that. Jason got all of her good looks and most of her brains as well.
Oh, Michael, please, you're embarrassing me.
Is Jason married?
I just thought I heard my cue to exit. Excuse me.
Did I say something I shouldn't have?
Barbara has a habit of doing that.
No, it's fine. No, Jason is not married. He was engaged once during the first Gulf War, but his fiancée, a nurse, was killed a week before the wedding. She was the love of his life, and well, he just hasn't met anyone since to take her place.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Excuse me, I need to help Mike unpack.
Well, let me know if you need anything. My door's always open.
Well, what do you think?
Well, Miss Carpenter, while we really liked the upgrades, we're a little worried about the noise from the golf course.
You know, we're not early risers.
Well, I am sorry to hear that. I'm Barbara Allen, one of the new neighbors. I write a weekly column for the Heritage Villager, and I was wondering, as potential condo owners, how do you two feel about the subject of extramarital sex after 60?
You don't need to show us out, Miss Carpenter. We'll find our own way.
Or maybe you two would be more interested in joining the Heritage Village Swingers Club. We meet once a week in the basement of the men's club.
Lost another sale, huh, Selena?
Oh, third one this week, Charlie. How do they do it? That condo is exactly like Monica's old condo, and they both overlook the same golf course. So how is it that Heritage Village Realty can sell that condo in 6 days, and I can't sell Monica's old condo in 6 months?
Maybe you need a vacation.
No, I don't need a vacation. I need a whole new life.
Oh, hey, what are you doing this evening?
I don't know. Why? What's up?
Well, I'm throwing a little party for the new neighbors. Why don't you join us?
I don't think so, Barbara. It's not good business etiquette to socialize with my competitors' clients.
Hello.
Hello.
He's the neighbor's son.
Really?
Yeah, and he's single.
Single? Hey, what time does this party start?
6 o'clock.
I'll be there at 5.
Barbara, I hope you're not thinking what I'm thinking.
Well, why not? Getting those two kids together, that would be a perfect story for my article.
The last time you played matchmaker, 2 people ended up in the emergency ward.
Well, they got married, didn't they?
Yeah, but to 2 different people.
Oh, poo, Charlie.
Out of the way, out of the way.
No rest for the weary, eh?
Huh, you can say that again, Grandma.
Grandma? Who in the hell are you calling Grandma?
Yes, I'm a retired airline pilot. 30 years with United Airlines.
Come fly our friendly skies.
Exactly. We flew mostly the domestic routes out of the Chicago hub. But we did fly a few international flights to Australia. Always loved Australia. Visited there during the war.
Vietnam?
Yeah, I was a fighter pilot in the A-4 Skyhawk.
Where were you stationed?
Aircraft carrier Ranger, but towards the end of the war, I flew a couple missions off the Ticonderoga. Tom, what did you do during Vietnam?
I was a college professor during the week and an anti-war activist on the weekends.
Figures.
Oh, say, Tom, tell Mike that story about how you got Jane Fonda for your peace rally down in New Haven.
You knew Jane Fonda?
Still do. In fact, as president of the Heritage Village Democratic Club, I've invited her to our 35th year anniversary celebration of the end of the Vietnam War.
Oh, boy.
Don't tell me you went to Hanoi with her.
Of course I didn't go. I had to raise a family.
That's good.
But I wish I did.
How soon can we get this condo back on the market?
Oh, shush, Michael. This afternoon you bragged you could be social with anyone.
Not with this guy. He not only attended these meetings, he set them up.
Oh, he looks harmless to me. Why don't you two talk sports? I'm sure you could find something in common.
Yeah, right.
Michael, by the way, you've got something caught in your teeth.
Who needs a refill?
Oh, do me in.
Me too.
So, with Mike being in Vietnam, where did you live?
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. I met my second husband in Chicago. He was a community organizer with a bright future, till he got caught in bed with the governor's teenage daughter. I dropped him faster than you could spit.
What did you do? Were you a housewife?
No, gosh, no. I was a photographer for Playboy magazine.
The Playboy magazine with Hugh Hefner and all those implant-laden bimbos?
You betcha. My parents nearly disowned me.
How could you work for a magazine that exploits young women?
I needed a job. What did you do?
I did what every good mother did during the 60s. I stayed home and raised Selena. It was only when she was ready for school that I finally got into teaching.
Well, good for you. I wish I had the same luxury, but with my husband off fighting for his country, someone had to put food on the table.
But Mrs. Daniels, what did you do with Jason while you were at work?
Well, Playboy was way ahead of the curve on children in the workplace. As long as I did my work, I could take Jason with me on all my photo shoots. At first, all the people just adored him, so there was never a need to get a babysitter. But when Jason was about 2.5, he finally noticed the differences between himself and the models. During one photo shoot, he calls out, "Mommy, what happened to that lady's pencil?" And I knew then it was time to get a babysitter.
Thank you again, Mom, for making me out to be the world's smallest pervert.
Oh, I think it's adorable.
So do I.
Never mind them, Jason. Tell us what you did in Iraq.
Yeah, did you bomb any civilians?
Hey, you slimy little weasel! If you had the guts to fight for your country, you know damn well that all military men and women are strictly ordered not to bomb civilians. All that propaganda is a bunch of crap.
Is that so? Well, that's not what I heard.
He's so handsome and shy. How could someone be so perfect and still be so single? Oh dear. I wonder if he has some kind of post-traumatic stress disorder. I have nothing against vets, but what would happen if he woke up in the night and thought I was a terrorist? I mean, is he going to come at me with a knife or something?
You know, she's so beautiful and so smart. I've got to wonder how someone so perfect could still be so single. Unless, God, what if she's one of those crazy code pink fanatics? I mean, I have nothing against any free-spirited feminists, but I got to draw a line on any woman who's going to blame all the problems of the world on global warming. I mean, come on, I'm only one guy over here. I can only save just so many aluminum cans.
Still, I wonder what kind of father he'd make. After all, I am 43 years old and not getting any younger. So, if Prince Charming has a couple of warts, who am I to throw him back in the pond?
You know, I've really got to worry about what kind of mother she'd make. And after all, I am 43 years old. And if I'm going to teach my son how to wrestle, I better settle down soon while I'm still young enough to do it.
Not to change the subject, Rita, but what does your husband do for a living? I mean, he looks so familiar. Is he somebody famous?
Oh, no. He was just a quiet, unassuming history professor at Yale, a regular Mr. Chips.
I know I've seen Tom before, but where? Golly, was he that freelance writer at work who once asked me out on a date? No, that couldn't be him. That guy lost over 100 pounds and started making exercise videos.
Kiki looks so familiar. Where do I know her from? Wait, could she be that student I had in '84 who wanted to trade her sexual favors for a higher grade? Oh, no. I think she flunked out and then later became the governor of Alaska.
Ooh, a college professor, huh? I always admired a man with brains. Gee, that Rita sure is a lucky gal.
She is very attractive. How did someone so attractive marry a jerk like Mike?
Come to think of it, Kiki, I have the funniest feeling I've met Mike before.
Maybe you and Tom were on one of his flights.
I don't think so. We're both afraid to fly.
Oh, that's too bad.
I know I've met Mike before, but where? Wait a minute. Was he that substitute gym teacher who tried to pick me up in the teacher's lounge? Nah, couldn't be him. That guy got caught having sex with the cheerleader. He went to jail.
Damn! I know Rita from somewhere, but where? Could she be that nurse on the Ticonderoga who liked to make out with all the pilots? Nah, that can't be her. That girl got into politics and became Speaker of the House.
An airline pilot, huh? I've always had a thing for a guy in uniform. Gosh, that Kiki sure is a lucky gal.
Rita sure is pretty. How did she ever get mixed up with an idiot like Tom?
You know, my father's side of the family has a long Navy history going all the way back to the Revolutionary War.
And that's right. My great-great-grandfather, Timothy Daniels, once saved John Paul Jones' life.
Oh, I wrote my doctoral thesis on John Paul Jones, so I'm sort of an expert on him, especially in regard to the way he used to raid British towns along the coast, and how reminiscent it was of your Navy's tactics during the Vietnam War.
Is that so?
Yeah, and another thing, in all my research, I can't ever recall coming across the name of Timothy Daniels.
I'm calling the realtor tomorrow. We're going back to Chicago.
Oh, have another beer, dear. You look thirsty.
Hey,
I'm so sorry I laughed at your mother's story, but you have to admit, it was adorable.
Yeah, I get it, but it stopped being adorable to me a long time ago.
Okay, so tell me, what did you do in the war? Were you a fighter pilot like your father?
No, thanks for asking, really. But no, I wasn't a fighter pilot. I flew helicopters.
See any combat?
Yeah, did. But I was mostly in the search and rescue part of the war. You know, picking up downed pilots, wounded Marines, even some civilians, things like that.
Wow, a regular Florence Nightingale with wings.
Actually, with rotor blades. But yeah, I guess you could say that, sure. But how about you? I mean, are you so outspoken against the war as your dad?
Oh, absolutely. Why, if the nations of this world would spend less money trying to annihilate each other and more on humanitarian efforts, we'd all be better off.
Guess that acorn didn't fall so far from your family tree, huh? Did it?
The same can be said about you and your father.
You make a good point. Can we talk about something else?
Yes, please do.
All right. Well, you sell real estate. So what's the market like around here?
Why? Are you thinking of moving to Southbury?
I might be if the right opportunity came up.
Hey, I'm confused.
About what?
I thought you were single.
Oh, this ring. Well, see, this was an engagement ring, and we,
Broke it off, huh? And now you can't get her off your mind. Yeah, that's happened to me a few times.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
What did I say?
His fiancée died during the first Gulf War. A mortar shell hit the medical tent she was in, and she was killed instantly. So was the baby she was carrying.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not the one you should be saying sorry to.
Oh, that's a shame. They sure were a nice-looking couple.
Barbara.
Oh, pooh, Charlie. It's written all over their faces. Kiki, wouldn't you love nothing better than for you and Mike? Wouldn't you like nothing better than for Jason to run off and get married to Selena tonight?
I guess so.
You're damn right. And what about you, Rita? Wouldn't you and Tom feel the same way?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, you know, there comes a point in every mother's life where the 3 words she most wants to hear from her daughter are not, I love you. They're, Mom, I'm pregnant. And let's face it, Rita, you're about 10 years past that point in your life.
Make that 20 years.
Tom!
No, Barbara's right. I'd give anything to have a granddaughter crawling under the Christmas tree someday.
You mean a grandson?
Who cares as long as it's healthy?
And as long as he or she crawls under our tree first.
Jason, wait up. Jason,
Please leave me alone. Please.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
Well, now you know. So look, her name was Dana McKenzie. And we met during the first Gulf War. I was badly injured by shell fragments. See, an Iraqi ground-to-air missile hit my helicopter. They took me to the nearest MASH unit. We were out of my blood type. So Dana donated 2 pints of her own blood, saved my life. And you see, even now, a little bit of her still flows through my body every day.
Wow. It's going to take an extraordinary woman to get you to take that ring off, isn't it?
A very extraordinary woman, yes.
I'm looking for an extraordinary man myself.
Is that so?
Yeah, and there just aren't any here in Southbury. They're either too young or too old. And let's face it, I'm not getting any younger. You man, you're so lucky. You can have babies till the day you die. We women, we're at the mercy of our own biological clocks.
All right, I hear you, but I don't understand what you have to worry about. I mean, you can't be more than what, 35? You got plenty of time yet.
Oh, you're so sweet.
And your hand is freezing. Oh, God. Can we go someplace warmer and talk? Just talk?
I'd like that.
Come on.
Sure does get chilly fast around here at night, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Found it. Ooh.
Thank you, dear.
I hope I got the right one.
No, but it'll do.
You didn't get anything for yourself, Michael?
No, that's what I like about global warming. It stimulates the circulation.
Well, this certainly has been a wonderful evening. I swear I've never seen anyone go out of their way more to make someone more welcomed. Barbara must be an angel sent from heaven.
She may be an angel, but at times I'm not sure it's heaven she's from.
And why do you say that?
Well, I don't like to be one to gossip, but she's recently started a swingers club here in the village.
You're kidding.
No, that's true. And she says they have over 100 members.
What sort of person would join a club like that?
Obviously, someone who's not happy in their own marriage.
Well, but isn't that the same thing people are concerned about their weight join a health club?
You can't compare lifting weights in a gym with having sex with a total stranger.
I don't see why not. To some people, it's just as repulsive to be lifting weights as it would be for you and Rita to consider a swingers club.
Does that mean you two condone such behavior?
Oh, of course not. I don't think we could ever make love with anyone else, could we, honey?
Not in a million years. Excuse me, ladies. I think Mother Nature's calling.
I think she's calling me too. Excuse me, ladies.
That's the first time all evening those two old fools have agreed on the same subject.
I know. I haven't seen Tom this upset with any one person since Bush beat Gore back in 2000.
Who needs another refill?
Not me. I can't hold my liquor like I used to.
Oh, yes, please. It's not like I have far to drive tonight.
What happened to all the men?
Mother Nature called.
Oh. So, tell me, what did I miss?
Well, Rita and Tom were telling us about your swingers club.
Oh, you and Mike interested in joining?
Oh, heavens, no. We grew up believing that when you marry a person, you marry them forever.
Who said anything about marriage? Our members are only interested in recreational sex, not a lifetime commitment. Think of it as a weekly tennis game.
Oh, that puts a whole new meaning to the term mixed doubles, doesn't it?
Oh, come on now. You mean to tell me you never slept with another man other than Mike?
Oh, I didn't say that.
You mean you did?
Oh, just once. It happened in New York City a couple of days before Mike and I were married. All of my bridesmaids were supposed to meet me at 3 o'clock at the Pen and Brush, an art gallery up on East 10th Street. Unfortunately, that was the same day as the big blackout back in 1965.
Blackout. Oh, dear.
Oh, I remember the blackout. November 9th, 1965. There was a huge romantic moon that night. And a lot of babies born 9 months later.
Forget about the babies. What happened with you?
Well, I picked up the number 6 subway around 34th Street, and of course, every seat was taken. This young man saw me standing and gave me his seat. Oh, it was kind of cute, with long hair and a tweed jacket and jeans. He also wore glasses. I remember because he used to clean them by putting them in his mouth first and then wiping them on his shirt. Well, before I got to my stop, the power went out.
How did you get out?
Well, this guy took out his cigarette lighter and led a group of us out of the train and along the tracks. We found one of those emergency stairways and got up to the street somewhere along 3rd Avenue.
Well, and then what?
He walked with me all the way down to the Pen and Brush. But when we got there, it was deserted. All of my bridesmaids were still stuck up at Grand Central Station. So there we were, this guy and me, all alone in the moonlight with a case of champagne on ice. And he started reciting poems from Shakespeare and Keats. And well, as much as I loved Michael, I knew this guy was someone special. And I just had to make love to him. And I did, right there, under the beautiful full moon.
Oh, that sounds so romantic.
Oh, it was.
Whatever happened to him?
He left the moment the lights came back on, and I never saw him again. Oh, please don't say anything to Michael. He still thinks I was a virgin when we were married.
My lips are sealed.
Oh, I'll never tell a soul.
You'll never tell us so what, Barbara?
Yeah, what? Is Kiki telling lies about me again? You know, it's hard enough listening to this over-the-hill war activist all night long, but now my wife is talking against me.
She didn't say a word about you, Mike. I promise. And my husband is certainly not an over-the-hill anti-war activist.
Thank you, dear.
He's just plain over the hill. But then that's just the way I love him.
Oh, Rita, please, not in front of all these people.
Oh, come on. You're not doing anything. It's not like you two are making a baby. You're just kissing on the lips. And even if it was a little X-rated, a little scandalous activity would do you good, Tom.
I don't think so.
Et tu, Brute?
Oh, come on, Tom. You have to admit it. You're about the least passionate romantic guy I know. I sometimes wonder how you and Rita ever had Selena.
Believe me, Charlie, Tom can be both passionate and romantic when he wants to be. Remember our wedding night, Tom?
Rita, please.
A regular Gary Cooper, eh, Tom?
And what's that supposed to mean, you fascist pervert?
Before I was just a fascist, now I'm a pervert also?
Michael, please calm down. Remember the last time you slugged a bleeding heart liberal? It got you 3 days in jail.
And I enjoyed every minute of it.
Oh, you want to fight? I should remind you that I'm also president of the Heritage Village Boxing Club.
Behave yourself, Tom. The last thing this world needs is another militant anti-war activist.
No, the last thing this world needs is another card-carrying member of the National Rifle Association.
Okay, El Presidente, make my day.
Oh, stop it, both of you. This is supposed to be a party, not a town hall meeting on health care reform. Now, you two shake hands. Oh, I've seen preschoolers act better than you two. Now shake hands. Thomas Carpenter, if you don't shake Mike's hand, I'll never speak to you again.
Is that a promise or a threat?
Just shake his gosh darn hand. I said shake hands, not arm wrestle, you two old goats. Now shake. Okay, and now while you're both standing, you can help Charlie clean up. I want this courtyard spotless by the time I wake up in the morning to write.
Why do we have to clean up?
You didn't expect us women to do it, did you, Michael? Good night, ladies, and thank you for a wonderful evening.
Oh, and thank you for sharing your romantic story. Kind of makes me wish something like that happened to me on the night of the blackout. Eh, Rita?
Yeah, sure. Good night, all. Behave yourself.
Yes, dear.
And that goes for you too, Michael.
Yes, dear.
Oh, and Charlie? If either one of those two gives you a hard time, shoot them both.
Yes, dear. So where do we start?
Why don't we just sit down, talk this over, and have another drink?
You know, it's the first thing you said all night that I can agree on. Here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So, what do we drink to?
To our lovely wives who we can't live without.
Or with.
I can drink to that.
Well, Charlie, tell me, what do you do for entertainment around here?
Oh, well, there's plenty to do. There's over 80 different clubs you can get involved in. You name it, we got it.
I understand there's a swingers club in the village?
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, I thought you and Barbara were the top two officers.
Yeah, we are. But that sort of stuff ain't for me. Why, except for Barbara, I've never kissed another woman. Except my late wife, Cindy. Come to think of it, there was one other. Valentina Vespera. She was an angel in our kindergarten Christmas play. I was a shepherd. At one point in the play, the light shined on her face just so, and she looked like an angel. Right there in front of everybody, I got up and kissed her right on the lips.
Whatever happened to her?
I don't know. That summer, they moved away, and I never seen them again. I was heartbroken. until the next family moved in, and they had a little girl just my age, and she was just as beautiful.
That must be Cindy.
Yeah, we were practically inseparable. Married right out of high school. She died 2 years ago.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thanks.
I remember Cindy. Sweet gal. She used to visit Barbara a lot. Like sisters they were, always chatting about this or that.
Yeah. Before she passed away, she asked me to look after Barbara. She knew the trouble she was having with men and thought that maybe I could be the one to settle her down.
So then what happened?
Every time I kiss Barbara, I sometimes feel like I'm cheating on Cindy somehow.
Oh, I cheated on Kiki once.
You did? When?
During the blackout in '65.
The blackout? Oh, dear.
Oh, I remember the blackout. The power was out along the whole Northeast, from Ontario all the way to parts of New England.
Yeah, that was the night. I just finished a drink in the Rainbow Room of Rockefeller Center and was on my way down in the elevator to meet some buddies for a fling right before the wedding. The elevator stops and this gorgeous brunette gets on board. I mean, she had a face and figure to die for. I'm telling you, if I wasn't getting married in 2 days, I'd have probably tried to make love with her right there in the elevator.
You mean you didn't?
I didn't even have a chance to introduce myself. 2 seconds after she got on board, the lights went out. I mean, it was so black you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. Well, in a couple of minutes, this girl started hyperventilating. So I pried the doors open with my bare hands, and when we got down to the landing, we found out the whole building was out of power.
Well, then what?
Well, she said she was to meet a friend down at the ice rink, and that they had dinner reservations at a hotel or at a restaurant down on 44th Street. We waited around, and when her friend didn't show up, I offered to walk her there myself. However, when we got outside, in all the confusion, we went uptown instead of downtown. Before we realized our mistake, we were already up at 57th Street.
I bet a lot of people made that same mistake that night. Huh, Tom?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess. Then what happened?
Well, we decided to go into a bar for a drink. And the people sitting next to us were doing rounds of Boilermakers. Somehow we got drafted into that. After 4 rounds, we had enough and left. As we were walking down Fifth Avenue in the moonlight, she looked as gorgeous as Liz Taylor in her prime. One thing led to another, and we got a room in a cheap hotel and made love until the power came on.
Oh, dear.
You don't look so good, Tom. Are you all right?
Yeah, just tired, I guess.
Yeah, me too. Why don't we call it a night?
What about all this garbage?
Don't worry about it. I'll clean it up in the morning before Barbara wakes up.
That's fine with me.
Me too.
Just a minute, fellas. Please, don't say anything about what I told you here tonight. If Kiki ever finds out, I'm a dead man.
My lips are sealed.
I'll never tell a soul.
That's hysterical. You're nuts, Tom. Oh, looks like the party broke up, huh?
Oh, that's too bad. I was hoping to see the look on my mother's face when we came back.
Can you imagine what it would be? Well, anyway, I just wanted to say thank you for tonight. You know, you're the first person I could ever talk to about Dana. I know a lot of women who wouldn't have even bothered to listen. I guess you're just a very special lady, and thank you.
No, thank you. Tonight, I saw a side of you I never thought existed in a man. I never thought I would ever meet anyone, man or woman, who could be so passionate about another human being. And I have to cry.
Cry? Why?
Because I think I'm falling in love with you.
Well, don't cry. That's great. 'Cause I think I'm falling in love with you, too.
Man, what a day.
I'm exhausted.
I can't keep my eyes open another second.
Kiki and Mike certainly are nice people. Or conservative Republicans, anyway. And what do you make of Kiki's story? Well, you know what they say. The more righteous the sinner, the more scandalous the sin. But hey, who am I to preach? I thought I would die when Kiki said she cheated on Mike the night of the blackout.
Gee, Rita and Tom are such nice people, for liberal Democrats anyway. I'll bet Rita never thought someone like me could ever cheat on her husband. But then, why not? We can't all be nuns, you know. And where does she get off preaching to me? I wonder what she was doing the night of the blackout.
Well, except for the fact that I didn't get a single word written this morning, it was a pretty nice day. And the Daniels sure are a nice couple. Golly, I never in a million years thought somebody like Kiki could do something like that. And why was Rita so quiet? I mean, do you think she's got a skeleton in her closet too?
I sure hope Tom never finds out.
I sure hope Mike never finds out.
I sure hope Charlie can stay awake long enough for me to tell him what Kiki said.
Well, it's about
time.
Hello, Cupcake.
Hello, baby doll.
Hello, Angel Face.
What the heck took you so long?
Oh, we were just talking.
About what?
Big boy things. Beer broads and baseball, that sort of stuff.
Is the courtyard all cleaned up?
Almost. I'll finish it up in the morning before you wake up.
Well, you better be quiet, because whenever you walk around that courtyard, it sounds like two skunks fighting.
Yes, dear.
So, how'd it go, Tom?
Okay, I guess.
That's nice.
You didn't get into another fight, did you, Michael?
No.
That's good.
What did she expect? An olive branch? I was civil. That's all that damn fascist deserves. And I wonder what Rita would say if she knew what Mike did the night of the blackout. I wonder how civil to him she'd be now, then. Oh, dear. I wonder what she'd do if he knew what I did that night.
Of course I didn't get in another fight with that little weasel. If I had, it'd probably be in the hospital by now. I'll bet he never thought anyone like me could ever do anything like that. And you know, we can't all be angels. And what does he get off preaching to me? I wonder what he was doing the night of the blackout.
She thinks she's calling a skunk. I'll bet you'll never guess in a million years what Mike did during the blackout. Not in a million years. And what about Tom? He was awful quiet. You don't suppose he has skeletons in his closet, do you?
I hope Rita never finds out.
I sure hope Kiki never finds out.
I sure hope Barbara doesn't stay up half the night reading. I'm exhausted.
Good night, Angel Face.
Good night, honey bunny.
Good night, Cupcake.
Good night, baby doll.
Is that it? Just one lousy kiss? Stop.
Now what's the matter?
We have to talk.
Talk? Yeah, talk.
About what?
About today.
What about's today?
Well, first, what'd you think of the new neighbors?
They're a nice enough couple.
I love Kiki.
So do I. But I think Mike's a moron.
I just adore Rita.
Yeah, but that makes a real jerk.
Did you notice anything unusual at the party today, I mean?
Now that you mentioned it, yeah. Kiki and Tom couldn't keep their eyes off each other.
And neither could Rita and Mike.
And speaking of Mike,
Ooh, wow.
Are you all right, Michael?
Oh, I just got a splitting headache. Oh,
Would you like an aspirin?
Oh, yes, please, Angel Face.
I'll be right back.
Hurry up.
Michael, where are the aspirin?
Oh, I think they're still in the packed in the box in the office. Why did I have to tell those guys about the blackout? I don't know if Charlie's a pretty nice guy. I don't think he'd say anything. But I just can't trust that weasel Tom. If Kiki ever finds out, I'm a dead man.
Mike told Charlie and me an interesting story you might find amusing.
Kiki, hurry up with that aspirin.
You got gossip on Mike? Oh, please tell.
well, long ago, before he and Kiki got married, he made love to a complete stranger.
I don't believe it.
It's true.
When?
On the night of the big blackout back in '65.
The blackout. Oh, dear.
It seems Mike got stuck in an elevator with some sexy bombshell on his way to his bachelor's party.
He didn't.
He sure did, and to make a long story short, after shooting down a few Boilermakers, they ended up making love down on East 52nd Street in a cheap hotel.
Holy cow. It's him. Mike's the man I made love to that night. No wonder he looks so damn familiar. Oh, what am I going to do? Do I tell him? Or do I just go on and pretend it never happened? But how could I, with him living just a few yards away? And what about Tom? I could never tell him. No way. It would just devastate him. I think I'm going to faint.
Are you okay, Cupcake? Would you like some water?
Yes, please.
Oh,
I found them.
Oh, Kiki, hurry up. My head's pounding like a piston.
Thank you, sweetie pie. I love you so much. What would I ever do without you?
Then I guess you have to get it yourself, wouldn't you?
Hurry up, Kiki. My head's pounding like a piston.
Here you go, honey bunny.
Oh, thank you. Oh, much better. Oh, thank you. Oh, Angel Face, I love you so much. What would I ever do without you?
Now you'd probably die of thirst.
Well, if you think that's funny, wait till you hear what Kiki said.
Oh, now I don't feel so good.
What do you got? Upset stomach, huh, Angel Face?
Uh-huh.
Would you like some Tums?
Yes, please.
Be right back. Kiki, where the hell are the Tums?
Oh, they're in the box in your office. Oh, dear God. Why did I have to tell Barbara and Rita about the blackout? I don't think Barbara would tell. She seems like a nice enough lady. But I can't be sure about Rita. I mean, anybody who would marry a weasel like Tom is probably a weasel herself.
Mike's not the only one in that family with a scandalous past.
Hurry up, Mike, with those Tums.
You don't say.
Oh, yeah. While Mike was uptown doing the dirty deed with his love bunny, Kiki was downtown rocking and rolling with her own little boy toy.
No way.
I swear.
When was that?
During the very same blackout.
The blackout. Oh, dear.
It seems Kiki got stuck in a subway train with this handsome hunk on the way to her bachelorette party.
She didn't.
Oh, she sure did. And after he rescues her from the subway, they walk to her friend's art studio where they drank champagne and made love on the rooftop under a full November moon.
Holy Toledo! It's her! Kiki's the woman I made love to that night. No wonder she looked so damn familiar. What am I gonna do? Do I tell her? Or do I just forget about it and go on living my life? Oh, but how could I with her living just a few yards away? And what do I do about Rita? Oh, I could never tell her. No way. She'd just kill me. It would just kill her, but she'd kill me first. Oh, I don't feel so good.
Are you all right, sweetie pie? Do you need some water?
Yes, please.
Found them. There you go, Angel Face.
Thanks, dear. need some water to wash these down with.
Okay, Interface, right back.
Here you go, sweetie pie.
Thank you. Oh, Cupcake, I love you so much. What am I ever gonna do without you?
You would probably call Selena.
Here we go, Angel Face.
Oh, honey bunny, I love you so much. What would I ever do without you?
You'd probably call Selena.
Or Jason.
Good night, Angel Face.
Good night, honey bunny.
Good night, sweetie pie.
Good night, Cupcake.
Good night, Davy Towel.
Good night, Charlie.
Aren't you going to sleep, Barbara?
Oh, I just want to read a little longer.
Don't strain your eyes too hard.
Why not? At my age, what do I got to save them for?
How can you look at those pictures that way, Barbara? Why, you're old enough to be that boy's grandmother.
Oh, Charlie, it's just good old-fashioned sex. You know, the stuff that makes the world go round.
Here I thought all this time it was centrifugal force.
Sex. Damn, I'm a dead man.
Sex. Crap. How could I be so stupid?
Sex? Oh, geez, I'm gonna go to hell.
Aw, sex. Man, what I wouldn't give to be sipping champagne with Kiki again on that rooftop.
Charlie? Charlie, are you asleep?
I was. Why?
Oh, well, I was just thinking.
About what?
Well, what are the odds that they all cheated on each other?
You mean Kiki and Tom and Rita and Mike?
Yeah, and on the same day. What would the odds be?
Well, I'll tell you, they'd have better odds getting struck by lightning on the moon. But that's the least of their worries.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, if Rita had sex with Mike 2 days before her wedding, then Tom might not be Selena's biological father.
Oh, and if Kiki had sex with Tom, then Mike might not be Jason's biological father either, right?
Exactly.
Oh, dear God!
What did we do?
Everybody's oh, keep going.
This was the merry month of May. The green buds were a swelling. Sir William on his deathbed lay for the love of Barbara Allen.
I heard that.
Ugh. It's horrible.
Jason, when did you start wearing glasses?
Oh, hi, Charlie. The glasses, huh? Well, let's see. Was back when I was playing center field in high school one day. Ball was hit, landed 5 feet right to my left, and I never even saw it. And I knew right then that my dream of being a fighter pilot was up in smoke.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, thanks. You know, you really got to have great vision to be a fighter pilot, and I just wasn't born with it. Yeah. Charlie, can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah, sure. What is it?
Well, you were married once, weren't you?
For 55 years.
Did you ever have any regrets about getting married, I mean?
Just one. If I could live my marriage over again, I'd want to be the first one to pass away.
Why's that?
Well, because after you lived with someone for so long that you love so dearly, being without them is like being stabbed with a knife right here. And the happier you were when they were alive, the deeper the cut.
Well, if you're the person who's left alive, how do you just go on living?
Well, I don't want to sound trite, Jason, but you just have to move on. No one can ever take that special spot in your heart for the love of your life. Not even God can find somebody to do that.
Charlie, what'd you do with my computer? Oh, never mind, I found it.
He does like to try.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Say, why all of a sudden the interest in marriage?
Jason, I got something caught in my tooth. I'll only be a minute.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Well, please don't tell anybody anything, especially Selena. I just have to really think this out for myself.
Take my advice. She's a keeper. You marry her and live happily ever after.
You know what? Thanks, Charlie. I'll remember that.
Yes, yes.
Are y'all finished out here, Charlie?
Almost. I just have to finish the cooler.
Good, then put on some water for tea. What was that for?
Just because I love you.
Oh, pooh, Charlie. Act your age, not your IQ.
Yes, dear. Anything you say.
I heard that. Oh, good morning, Selena. Got something caught in your teeth?
Oh, good morning, Barbara. Yeah. Sometimes I wish I had inherited my dad's teeth. He's never had a cavity in his whole life.
I didn't see you come by earlier this morning. Were you showing Monica's condo to a client?
I was showing Monica's condo, but it wasn't to a client. Jason and I spent the whole night.
Oh, taking the car for a test drive before you buy it, eh?
But please, don't tell our parents. They might get the wrong idea.
Oh, I think both your parents would be thrilled. Although, right now, they might have a little bit more on their minds.
Barbara, can I ask you a personal question?
Oh, sure. Fire away. The more personal, the better.
You were married once, weren't you?
Oh, I was married 5 times.
5 times. Did you ever have any regrets about getting married, I mean?
Oh, I don't have any regrets about anything. Although, if I could do it over, I would have liked to try to make my first marriage work.
Why just the first marriage?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I had a great time with all my husbands. But when I think about the marriage Charlie and his wife Cindy had, I get jealous, especially of Cindy. She had someone very, very special in Charlie. Very special. My first husband, John, was a lot like that. Only I didn't appreciate it at the time. If I had it to do all over again, I'd wrap my arms around him and I'd never let him go.
I think I know what you mean.
Why all the sudden interest in marriage?
I can't find my wallet anywhere. Can I borrow the condo key?
Oh, sure.
Thanks, sweetie. I'll only be a minute. I'm pretty sure I left it in the bedroom.
He's a keeper.
You really think so?
Oh, yeah.
I just don't know if I'm ready to get married.
Well, you better make up your mind, because once he makes up his, he won't be on the market for long. Heck, if I were 30 years younger, I'd steal him from you myself.
Thanks, Barbara. You're the best.
I got it.
Great. Let's get going. I'm starved. Oh, Barbara, we're just going out for breakfast. Can we get you anything?
No, Charlie will be here any minute with my tea and scones. You two run along, enjoy yourselves while you still can.
Okay, bye.
Here you go, baby doll.
Kiki, is everything all right?
Yes, everything's fine. Well, sort of fine. Barbara, you haven't said anything to anyone about what I said last night, have you?
She hasn't said a word.
Oh, thank God.
You know, you look like you could use a friend right now. Why don't you join us for some tea and scones? Charlie baked some this morning, and they are to die for.
Maybe later. Right now, I just need to be alone.
Well, enjoy your walk.
Hey, Mike, is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's all right. No, everything isn't all right. Charlie, you didn't say anything to anyone about what I said last night, have you?
He didn't say a word.
Yay, thanks.
You know, you look like you can use a friend right now. Why don't you join us for some tea and scones? Charlie baked these this morning, and they are to die for.
No thanks. I gotta think this thing out for myself.
Hey, she went that way.
She did?
Yeah, why don't you go that way?
Good idea, thank you.
Rita, is everything all right?
Yeah, fine. I just needed to ask Mike, I mean Kiki. I just needed to ask Kiki about something she said last night during the blackout.
She's out.
Yeah, they're both out.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, they both went out for a walk.
Separately.
Really?
Yeah, she went that way.
And he went that way.
But they should both be back shortly. Why don't you join us for some tea and scones? Charlie baked some this morning, and they are to die for.
Not now. I've got to find Kiki.
Hey, you're going the wrong way. Tom, is everything all right?
Yeah, everything is great. Just great. I just wanted to ask Mike. I just wanted to ask Mike about something what he said about the blackout last night.
Well, he went out for a walk.
Yeah, they're both out.
Ah, nuts.
Separately.
Oh.
She went that way.
And he went that way.
But they should both be back shortly. Why don't you join us for some tea and scones? Charlie baked some this morning, and they are to die for.
No, not now. I've got to find Mike.
Hey, you're going the wrong way.
Strange. What do you suppose all this means?
That means nobody's interested in my scones.
Oh, dear God, how can I face Michael? And Jason, how am I going to explain this to him?
Kiki, I'm glad I found you alone. We have to talk.
No, stay away, Tom. I need to be by myself. I've done a terrible thing to Michael, and I just don't know what I should do.
Does it have anything to do with the night you spent on the roof of the Pen and Brush?
Did Rita tell you?
Yes, some.
That tramp! How could she? She promised.
But she didn't tell me everything.
What are you talking about?
She didn't tell me how your lover led you out of the train with a cigarette lighter. And she also didn't tell me how he read you poetry while you sipped champagne. Or how beautiful the full moon lit up your face while the two of you were making love.
And how do you know all this?
I still have the cigarette lighter.
Oh, Tom!
Kiki!
Oh, dear God. How am I going to tell Kiki? And what about Jason? How am I ever going to explain this to him?
Mike, I'm so glad I found you.
No, Rita, please stay away. I can't let you see me like this. I've done a terrible thing to Kiki. I don't know what I should do.
Does it have anything to do with the night you spent drinking Boilermakers during the blackout?
That little weasel told you, didn't he?
Yeah, some.
I'm going to kill him the next time I see him. Oh,
He didn't tell me everything. He didn't have to.
why is that?
The woman you helped out of the elevator, her skirt got caught on the door as you lowered her. And then you offered to walk with her to meet her friend. Only you went uptown instead of downtown and ended up in a little dive off 57th Street drinking Boilermakers. Then the two of you rented a cheap hotel room.
How do you know all this?
The friend you were walking her to meet was her fiancé. His name was Tom Carpenter.
Oh, Rita!
Michael.
What do we do now?
We don't do anything. We keep our mouths shut and take this to our graves.
But can we do that?
We have to, for the sake of both of our spouses and our children.
Are you going to tell Kiki?
I think I have to. I mean, she's going to find out anyway. It might as well be for me.
It's not like we really cheated. None of us were married at the time.
Try telling that to Tom and Kiki and see what they say.
Oh, what a mess.
Well, how could be any impossible as this?
Charlie!
Now what's the matter?
The same thing that was the matter a half an hour ago and a half an hour before that. I can't think of a thing to write. I have exactly 3 hours and 58 minutes to get this article in. You have to help me, Charlie. I'll do anything you say, anything. I'll even marry you if you want.
You will?
Yeah. The whole 9 yards. The wedding, the reception, the honeymoon. I'll even let you carry me over the threshold. But I just got to come up with something or I'm going to lose this article forever.
I could do without that part about carrying you over the threshold.
Yeah, me too. I was a little worried about that myself.
All right, I'll help you. Under one condition.
What's that?
You have to give up the Swingers Club.
Oh, no way. You know how important that club is to me.
It's up to you, Barbara. The club or the column?
But Charlie...
Shh! World War III's about to begin.
Tom?
Rita?
Kiki!
Michael?
Tom!
Rita!
Kiki!
Michael!
I saw that, Tom. You were holding Kiki's hand just now, weren't you?
Me? What about you, Rita? I saw you holding hands with this pious reactionary fascist.
Kiki, how could you upset me like this, holding hands with this secular progressive little weasel?
You have a lot of nerve talking to me like that, Michael. I saw you holding hands with this tramp.
Tramp? Who's calling who a tramp?
Now, wait a minute, Rita.
Yeah, get your filthy hands off my wife.
Stop it, Michael. You'll hurt him.
Back up, you over-the-hill bimbo.
Who the hell are you calling a bimbo?
Charlie, do something. Make them stop. They're going to kill each other.
And what am I gonna do?
Well, talk to them.
What am I gonna say?
Say anything. Just make them stop fighting.
Stop it, all of you. You were just holding hands. It's not like you were making love or anything, is it?
Well, those weren't the exact words I would have used.
Yeah, but they worked, didn't they?
Rita, I have a confession to make.
I have a confession to make to you too, Kiki, and to you too, Tom.
We both have a confession to make.
But Tom should go first. He stepped up first.
Yeah, I should go first.
From the both of us, him and me, to you, Mike and Rita.
Will somebody please confess to something before I die of suspense?
Tom, I think you should let Mike say what he has to say first.
If that's what you want.
What is it, Michael?
2 days before our wedding, I slept with another woman.
Michael, how could you?
Not just any woman, Kiki. He slept with me.
Rita, how could you?
I was on my way to meet you for dinner, and I got stuck in the elevator with Mike. It was during that blackout. You know, the big one in 65.
That was 2 days before our wedding.
I know. But Mike saved my life that day. And one thing led to another, and we rented a cheap little hotel off 52nd Street and made love.
Oh, Kiki, can you ever forgive me?
Can I ever forgive you? Can you ever forgive me?
For what?
Because on the same night, I slept with another man.
Kiki, how could you?
And not just any man, Mike. She said it with me.
Tom, how could you?
Well, I was on my way to meet you for dinner. I took the subway downtown instead of uptown. I didn't know that until after the power went out. And then I ran into Kiki on her way to their bachelorette party. And one thing led to another, and we ended up making love on the roof of an art studio.
Under a full moon in November.
Now, let me get this straight. Are you saying that each of you cheated on each other with each other on the night of the same blackout?
Yes, we are.
It's pretty funny now that you think about it.
Yeah, what are the odds of that happening? And then the four of us living here together as neighbors 44 years later.
I think that's pretty damn near impossible.
I am so sorry. Can you ever forgive me?
All's well that ends well. Thank you, Charlie. Now I have the perfect story for my article.
Not quite.
What do you mean, not quite?
Yeah, if we can all forgive and forget, what difference does it make?
I'm so glad all of you are here because Jason and I have some wonderful news we'd like to share with you.
Oh, what is it, Jason?
Actually, I think it might be more appropriate if we did it this way. Mom, if you and Dad would stand over here, please.
And you two stand right here.
Yeah. Mr. and Mrs. Carpenter, in the presence of my parents and these witnesses, I would like to ask you for the hand of your daughter Selena in marriage.
Mom, what's wrong?
I'm afraid we can't give you our blessing, Jason. I'm sorry.
But Mr. Carpenter, I'm in love with your daughter, and regardless of whether we get your blessing or not, I'm going to marry her.
I'm afraid you can't do that, Jason.
And why not, Mrs. Daniels?
Because, Selena, your dad might not be your father.
Daddy? What's Mommy talking about?
I'm afraid she's right, Princess. I may not be your father.
But if you're not her father, who the hell is?
I may be. I think I could be.
What?
That can't be. You can't be my father. You just can't be.
I have trouble with food sticking to my teeth, too.
Get away from me! I don't want your damn toothpick. I don't want anything from you. All I want is Jason.
I know what this is. This is some kind of communal hippie stuff that you were in the 60s, isn't it?
I'm afraid not, Jason. It's something that just happened.
Something that just happened. So you mean to say that after all these years, I finally meet the most incredible, the most compassionate, the most beautiful woman I've ever known, and you're going to stand there and say just something that happened, and you're also going to say, she could be my half-sister?
Actually, you may not be half-brother and sister.
Why is that, Mrs. Carpenter?
Because Michael might not be your father, Jason.
Daddy, please tell me this is some kind of joke.
I'm afraid I can't, Jason.
Well, if you're not his father, then who is?
I think I might be.
Daddy?
Oh no, wait, not him, please. Mom, please tell me you didn't sleep with him.
Here, son, use this. Your shirt might scratch the lenses.
Stay away from me. I'm not your damn son. I don't need your damn handkerchief. I don't need anything from you. All I need is Selena.
Selena, I am so sorry.
I hate you, Mother. I hate all of you. How could you all do such a horrible thing to us? How could you? How could you? Oh, how could they do this to us?
Oh, they didn't mean to hurt you, honey. It's just sometimes when you're in the throes of passion, you don't take time to think about the people you might be hurting.
If what they say is true, our whole lives are a mistake.
No, Selena, your lives aren't a mistake. You and Jason were created out of an extraordinary set of circumstances. And you two meeting here 44 years later and falling in love is no less extraordinary. That uniqueness can only exist by the grace of God. Or as your father might say, an extraordinary twist of fate.
He's not my father anymore.
Oh, look, Selena, any imbecile can do that first part, but it takes a real father to do the second. He may not be the one that gave you life, but he certainly is the one that helped nurture it. To condemn him and your mother like this, with all these stars so perfectly aligned in heaven, it would be a sin too great to imagine.
Mom, Dad, I'm so sorry I yelled.
Selena, my baby.
I love you both so much.
And we love you too, Princess.
You know, Jason, real men still hug their parents too.
Mom, Dad, I love you guys.
Oh, Jason, I love you so
I love you
much.
too, son.
Just out of curiosity, when were your birthdays, Selena?
August 9th, 1966.
Jason?
Same day, August 9th, 1966.
Wow, ain't that something to write home about?
Yeah. That's July and June and May and March and April and February and January, December, and finally November. Well, that's 9 months. That means the two of you were very possible that you were conceived on the night of the blackout. Therefore, not half brothers and sisters.
But how can you be sure?
Well, you can't, not without a DNA test. But judging by the way Mike and Selena have the same bad teeth, and Tom and Jason have the same poor eyesight, I can't think of any other explanation.
Oh, dear. How are we ever going to explain this to our grandchildren?
Mom, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Mrs. Daniels, we aren't even married yet.
That didn't work so well, that argument for you and I, Kiki, huh?
No, I didn't.
And until we know for sure, this is as close as you get to Selena.
What? That's not fair.
You're right, that's not fair. But until we know who your real father is, this is as close as you get to Jason.
But Daddy, what if we're out together in public?
Well, then you two can get just as close as you want.
Oh, yeah, but what if, you know?
Oh, pooh, Charlie. They're no more half brother and sister than you and I are. And that's a good thing, because in exactly 3 hours and 24 minutes, you and I are going down to the church to get married.
If that's what you want, Barbara.
Oh, Charlie, I've never wanted anything more in my whole life. And that's a damn long time, let me tell you.
I think you're going to love this condo. I sold the one next to it a couple of weeks ago. Oh, excuse me, I hate to interrupt this love fest, but are any of you Selena Carpenter?
Oh, I am.
I'm Frances Falco with Heritage Village Realty. I had a 9 o'clock appointment with you this morning to show your listing to my client. It's now 10:35.
I'm terribly sorry. I forgot all about it. What was your client's name again?
Vespera, Valentina Vespera.
Tina? Charlie Miller.
Charlie!
Charlie!